This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. On the 3rd, though, we're going to get the band back together for a TV taping, and this is where we start to see a bit of an angle. Sam Houston gets an upset win over Arn Anderson. He does it with a roll-up just under 5 minutes after Arn became distracted by Magnum TA, who was on the apron. So Ole's doing guest commentary for the bout, and of course Sam Houston's arm is in a cast because he recently had it broken by the Andersons. And then eventually, midway through the bout, Magnum shows up. And after the bout, of course, the Andersons are going to double team Houston until Dusty and Magnum manage to clear the ring. So we're continuing that story. And I think we've got a little bit of a clip here from that action on Worldwide. It happened on the 7th of September, 1985. Let's take a listen.
But we got something for you today. This kid here, right here on this program, Daddy, has challenged Arn Anderson one-on-one, head up, and we're excited about it. And I know you're excited about it, baby. Nothing can make me happier than I can't wait. I'm going to wrestle Arn Anderson in this ring in just a minute. One-on-one. I'm making me happy. I'm just happy. It's like a dream come true. This is no kid anymore. This is a man that fights his own battles. I'd like to have a piece of Arn Anderson's soul with Dusty Rhodes, but our man right here is going to go in there and take care of business. He's ready for Arn Anderson. Look out. The dude's time is coming to be paid. Broken arms, well, they're out there for you, Jack. And this is the man to dish them out.
Yeah, I tell you what, it just keeps on getting better. The fans are, the wrestling is great.
David Crockett, this is the best that it gets anywhere in the country, from Phoenix, Arizona to San Diego, California, to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to Charlotte, North Carolina, and boy, we love to raise hell in Charlotte, North Carolina. Anywhere in the world, this the best announcers, best promoters, best anywhere, Jack. And Sam gonna do it to him in just a few minutes, buddy. All right, well,
So Dusty definitely trying to give the quote unquote rub to Sam Houston. What did he see in Sam? He had a soft spot for Sam here. Or he was at least trying to establish a new white meat babyface, right?
Well, number one, if I know they were all that mad, I wouldn't have went. Sam. Yeah, Sam was just one of those young guys that came along at that time that was very, very talented. You saw his face and you knew he was young. You looked at his body. You saw that, you know, he still had a ways to go to develop. You know, he wasn't a body guy or anything. He was the ultimate underdog. And, you know, he came from a wrestling family, obviously. And he just was one of those guys, much like Ricky Morton, that you could take out there and you could show that he belonged, number one, in the first few minutes of a match, because he had a lot of talent. And then you could cut him down and just start mugging him, and people felt sorry for him because they knew he was not necessarily going to come out of this, you know. And the white meat baby faces are the ones you could beat down, and you could beat them, and it didn't kill them off because the audience knew they were overmatched to begin with. And the fact that they just stayed in the fight and made it a contest, they got the audience respect. And you could put that guy in the first match every single night and he could get beat every single night as long as he was in the fight. And that's what Sam was. And for whatever reason, Dusty took a liking to him. And Dusty always, whether it was a Barry Windham or a Magnum or whoever it was, always had a protege that he was trying to bring along and, you know, introduce our fans to and go, hey, this guy's, you know, got skills and he's got heart and all those things. And he's somebody to keep an eye out on. It was just Dusty's way of giving a kid a rub.
Again, this is from the television taping that happened on September 3rd in Gaffney, but it would air on Worldwide on September 7th. And we've got a clip of the brawl at the end of the match between Arn and Sam. Let's go to it.
Arn Anderson!
Look at him. Look out the
Sam Houston and Magnum TA. You're not going to separate those three Andersons. And look at the Andersons. They leave now.
So you get the upset loss here. Sam Houston gets a big pop from the crowd. And man, one by one, as Magnum's getting in the fracas, and then of course Dusty, the crowd just seems to get hotter and hotter and hotter. I mean, it's so much that it almost feels like it's blowing out the audio on the tape. I mean, these are real life moments, and this is a different time, a different era. This is before signs. This is before cell phones. People aren't trying to tweet or take pictures on their phone. Everyone is intently watching this, and it's one good story after another as we see the replay here. The little surprise roll up from Sam Houston, and the crowd just explodes. But then again, when Magnum's involved, and even bigger when Dusty's involved, you think we'll ever get reactions like this again, that genuine of a reaction and emotion?
Gotta hope so, because I think that's one of the things that are missing,
Yep.
Today, in today's world, the talent of the guys that are in the business, the wrestlers today, is the athletic abilities is unparalleled. This group of guys, they can do things athletically that were never dreamed of, much less been able to have been performed back in these days. What we did have the advantage on with any other sport or any other form of entertainment was you got invested in the particular performer and you got to live his life, for lack of a better way to say it, with him and see his triumphs and see his failures and see why things worked and why they didn't, and go through the process, with these guys. And in those days, Sam Houston would have never beat an Anderson on television. It just wasn't done. And to do it the way it was done with an assist from Magnum, who definitely had every right in the world to do what he was doing after what we had done to him, it was poetic justice. And it felt good. And Sam Houston with an assist from Magnum to hold me down for 3 seconds. And that's what it was. I was back on my feet right after that. It's something he could hang his hat on going forward. So everybody won. It was one of those situations, you never saw that on TV, a guy that got beat that shouldn't have got beat, but there was a reason for it. And it gave me another reason to bitch and Ole a reason to bitch. It just worked, man. It was beautiful.
And by the way, we're not done. We still got to put a bow on it. So here's Arn and Ole doing a promo from that very same show. September 7th.
The National Tag Team Champions, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Ole and Arn Anderson. Arn, the fans out here are hauling cheaters, and they sing America's Team, America's Team.
Yeah. But one thing, Bob Caudle, is America's team not a little bit conspicuous by their absence? I asked you that as an intelligent man. Yes, they're conspicuous by their absence. The reason they're not here is simply because they've run out of line. They've said, we want the Andersons in this kind of match, that kind of match. We want them in the ring at the same time where we can keep our eyes on them. Well, they've run out of luck. They run out of hope, and the support of these fans is not enough to get done what they want to get done. So they're too ashamed and embarrassed to show their face.
I'm mad at Magnum TA and I'm mad at Dusty Rhodes because here we came ready to wrestle them. And like he says, they're not here. But I really get hot at the beginning of the program when you said the National Tag Team Champions and then the World Tag Team Champions, those fly-by nights. What do you call them? The Rock and Roll Express. Well, let me tell you, gentlemen, just like I told Magnum TA and Dusty Rhodes,
Let my family save your family some cash. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket, but we will save you money. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of how much. SaveWithConrad.com.
wrestle. You better learn how to wrestle. If I thought wearing a bunch of handkerchiefs around my leg was going to make me a better wrestler, why we'd look like Woolworths walking out here. But we look like champions. You know why? Because we are.
All right, to the ring, fans.
So we got that out of order in our playback. Clearly that was the promo earlier in the show. And then of course the Sam Houston upset and the surprise, America's team is here. But man, what a promo from Ole. That was great stuff. We look like champions because we are, which was just phenomenal. And I know you love that bandana line too.
Got a plug for World Wars. What the hell? He should have got paid for that. For damn sure. Yeah, that's how easy it was to just, go ahead and take whatever angle you were in and expand it, give yourself more important, opponents. That's all he did is he just created 2 more opponents, the Rock and Roll Express.
And hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.